Hi everyone, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and we are here to do a Christmas in July project because why not, right? Sometimes you just need a little Christmas spirit all throughout the year. So here we go. This is a one-page wonder for the actual folio. The papers I decorated with, of course, are in addition to that. And I used a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. You do not, of course, have to do Christmas themed. This will work with any other papers you would like. But I am using my Santa and Friends kit. It's available on Etsy as a digital kit, and I've got the print and ship option if you like that. So let me show you what it does. So this is the cover, but it opens like this. And I've added a little pocket with a cute little snowman, a journaling spot. I liked just seeing the paper there. And then it opens this way, and there's a nice big belly band, a nice journaling card. You could put more in there if you wanted to. And then here I have a side load pocket. Again, a little snowman that we decorated. And then it opens like this for some more journaling. There's a small pocket here. I'm gonna put the Merry Christmas. And then a big pocket. And this is just one of the coin envelopes from the kit. And then I made a large tag. So I can kind of talk through what I did. I accidentally printed the entire Santa and Friends paper kit at 60%. I had been playing with something else and forgot that that's the setting that I had my printer on. So then I thought, okay, well, what can I do with Santa and Friends? Teeny tiny, right? I ended up printing a few of the pages regular size, but these are the actual journal pages. And that's what I used to make this journal card, this tag here, and then the front feature with the pocket. So anyway, it turned out to be a happy mistake, and I will talk you through that. But again, you can just cut paper to whatever size and decorate as you like. So to make the actual just folio part, you need a piece of paper that is 12 by 12. And the first thing you're going to do is you are going to cut your paper, whatever, mine, the direction doesn't really matter, but whichever way you want to cut it at 7.5 inches so that you have a piece that is 7.5 by 12. That's going to be the main part of the folio. And then you have this piece that is 4.5 by 12. This one we're going to cut again. Let's get my trimmer out. We are going to cut, well, we're not going to do it on this trimmer. I wasn't really thinking when I did this. We're going to cut on the 4.5 inch side at 3 inches. And then we will be able to use the smaller trimmer. You want 2 pieces now, or you now have 2 pieces. One that measures 3 by 12. That's going to be that flippy pocket. And then one that measures 1.5 by 12. This one we are going to cut at 7.5 inches. And just make sure. I may have to, trim it. I'm going to make mine just a smidge less so that it definitely fits in there. This is going to be our tiny pocket, our belly band, our folio, and then our flip pocket page. All right, we are going to do some scoring. So I'm going to get out my scoreboard. We'll score the big one first. So, and like I said, my paper doesn't have any direction. If your paper has direction, you may want to think about how you lay it on here. But we are going to score on the 12-inch side at 2 inches and at 6 inches. Now, I will put all the measurements and the scoring in the description down below the video for you in case that's helpful. Now we are going to score the piece that is 3 by 12. and we are going to score it at 1/2 inch, okay, at 5 3/4 inches, and at 9 3/4 inches. So you've got 1/2 inch, 5 3/4 inches, and 9 3/4 inches. And that's all of our scoring. And we will fold our folio first. And trying to decide which way I want to do it. Let's just fold first, and then I'll look at the pattern of the paper. Just make sure everything's nice and straight. Okay. So if I have it this way, this would be the front. Okay, and open like this. Or I can do it like I did my prototype and have it like this. Which do I want? Why don't we do it the other way just to be different? Just so we can see what that looks like. Okie dokie. Very nice. Now I am going to end up inking everything before I start attaching, but let's go ahead and fold the skinny piece where we scored it as well. That was that 1/2 inch. And there we go. Now this one is going to be, the big pocket. It's going to get attached. It's actually going to get attached like this. It's going to fold back this way and forward this way. Now, we could, I think, we'll just see what it looks like, doing it like this. I think the other way, because I got more contrast, and I did bring mine to this edge. So when I installed it, just because I liked seeing it instead of putting it here. Anyway, there's different ways you could attach it. Let's do it the way I had it originally. Now, again, I'm going to ink first, but it will get glued down by this 1/2 inch portion, just because I wanted the pocket to be as roomy as possible, and then glue at the bottom and the bottom like so. This will become a tuck spot, and then this will open up like that. I think that's good. I like it. Okie doke. So let's do some inking. I'm going to use my tea dye and distress ink, and I'm just going to ink both of these that I've just folded and played with. And if you don't want to watch me ink, you can fast forward. But I am going to say thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. If you're returning to spend some time with me, thank you. That means a lot to me, and I definitely appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you enjoy the video and you will subscribe and come back and hang out with us. We have a lot of fun here, and I think everybody is nice, and you guys leave sweet comments, which I appreciate. Thank you. Please keep them coming, and don't forget to hit the little like button too, the little thumbs up guy. Okay, I am gonna just miter that just a touch to make it. When I first was playing with the design of this, I put this hinge here because I was thinking I was going to have the whole page open somehow, but I really wanted that big pocket, but then I still really liked it, because when we glue a pocket down by a hinge like that, it makes the pocket nice and roomy. Now, I really like the size of this folio. I think it makes a really nice gift, and only using one 12 by 12 piece of paper, and then whatever you choose to decorate with, you know, it's a nice gift. I think the size and what all you can put in here is substantial. You could expand it more, and I'll give you some ideas if you want to do that. But it's just kind of nice, I think, to have something that comes together pretty quickly that you can use as a gift. Or again, I say this all the time, instead of just a regular greeting card, something like that. I think it has a wow factor. And a lot of people, or at least people in my orbit, really do appreciate the handmade gifts. I'm going to go ahead and ink this tiny pocket in the belly band too. So anyway, I love a lot of times when you guys leave comments, you'll say, oh, you could do this, or you could do that, or I could use it this way, you know, or as a gift. And this again is one you could add maybe some pictures, some memories. You could put a gift card for somebody in there, just all kinds of things. So, all right, this is our cover. Just gonna leave it like that for now. And we're gonna first install this pocket. Let's go ahead and glue the side tuck down so that we don't get confused and it's not in our way, okay? If you want to do a little notch or something there, you can, but all you have to do for this one is put glue at the bottom and at the top. Whoa. And if you're careful and don't bring it down too much, a larger item will fit in. The more you come down, the smaller the item, Pam, will go in there. Okay, now so this is gonna open up, but this is gonna become a big pocket. I know I wanna keep it open at the top. So I'm going to add glue to the flap. I go back and forth calling this a flap and a hinge. And then I'm gonna add glue along the bottom. So I'm holding it at the top, along the bottom and along this side. Okay, the other reason I like bringing it to this edge is it just gives the back cover, you know, a little more stability coming all the way to this edge. Okay, so we'll just let that grab. And then while that is drying, this is the piece that we cut off to make the belly band, and we're gonna make a pocket. And I inked it, but I really want more ink on this side that has the green. And as I like alternating the patterns. And again, I hope you see how once you have this put together, decorate it however you want. I know a lot of people enjoy Christmas in July just because we get to get out our Christmas crafting supplies and again have a little bit of Christmas joy in the middle of the year. All right, that will fit. And I'm just going to install this like a regular belly band. Now if you want to bring it here and make it a pocket, you know, a tuck spot, you could do that. My original, I just did the pass-through belly band. Again, up to you. I'm going to stay with the belly band for mine. So, but if Christmas in July isn't your thing, or you're watching this at a different time of the year, go ahead and decorate it however you like. All right, and a lot of people that craft are also getting ready, you know, for craft fairs, and there's a lot in the fall and right at the holiday season. So it's nice in the summertime to go ahead and get some crafts made. All right, look, it's together. Now, I am using a piece to make this front feature and pocket. Of course, you know, you could just turn this into like a little tuck spot. You could just leave it as a flap that opens. But I think that's really cool. So let me show you how I did that. I'm gonna look, again, these print as full-size journal sheets, but I think my setting was at 60%. And so we can do a snowman, we can do another Santa. So I have that reindeer. The Christmas tree would be pretty. It is very similar colors. I don't know. It's always hard for me to decide. Let's do the Christmas tree. So all I did was, now this one I didn't fold quite in half because I wanted to be able to see what was in the pocket. So I'm glad I'm reminding myself of that. I need to have a little bit of a lip. Okay. So if it is, no, it's fine. We're going to put it on there. I see a little bit of the white strip. So I am going, I didn't do a great job trimming this. There we go. And I'm not quite sure why the star on the tree is like that. I think it's just how I designed the paper. Okay. I'm going to ink, and then I'll show you how we turn this into that tuck spot. And I've never done a cover on a journal quite like this before. I don't recall. So I was kind of, like I said, it was the printing mishap that led me to this. And it really kind of made me happy. Now I can bring this pretty much all the way over. Or I can leave, you know, a little bit of a border. That's what I did here. Let's see what it looks like on this side. I think I'm going to bring it pretty close to the edge. Now, this is where you have to kind of really think through what you're doing. I want to attach this, but I only want to put glue on a portion. I don't want to put glue here because I'm making a pocket. This is going to make sense here in just a second. But I want it attached well. So I'm going to bring it pretty close to this fold edge, and I'm going to put glue in here. But I don't want to glue my pocket closed. Okay, so I have it lined up. I've been holding it carefully. And there we go. Now, if I did it right, it's just attached right here. Okay, and you could, like, I could have marked it with my pencil and added glue to the piece, and, you know, and then laid it. So there's different ways, but you just don't want to get this glue, any glue on this section yet. Now, just realized I didn't ink on this score line, and I want to. There we go. All right, you can see a little bit better where it's going to fold over. What a nice surprise, too, when you open it up and there's that happy snowman. All right, now this is going to become a tuck spot. So all you have to do is super simple, is add glue to the bottom and the top. Okay? And now, once that grabs hold, we have a fabulous little pocket. All right. Now, again, on here, I just put a journaling spot on the original. I liked seeing, you know, the paper back here. I did use an index card, and then just where I could see, you know, the little bit of the edge. So we'll decide if we're going to do that. Leave it. You could put a full, you know, a larger piece of paper and have more journaling. But that was important to me that I show you how to do that. Now I also added, just for fun, a little tab here. To me it's obvious this opens, but I just thought it made it look cute. If you want to, you could do a Velcro dot as well to keep that from flapping open, depending on how you use it. If I hadn't put a ribbon topper on that tag, it would also lay a little more flat. Again, up to you. All right, let's open it up and do a little bit inside here. I do have some of the words from the kit, and they print, even when you do just normal printing, you know, at different sizes. And let's see, so I have some little teeny tiny ones and then some that are about this size. How about here? I kind of like the little bitty one. Let's do Merry and Bright for right now. And put it on the tree on the front. And again, this is Christmas, so we can, you know, really decorate these up if you want to. I didn't pull out yet, I may, all of my Christmas crafting. I said, oh, it gives us a chance to pull it out. I have not pulled mine out. I have a lot, and it's in bins, and it depends on how motivated I am to get it out right now, or for the month of July. But I do have other, I printed the paper kit, and I thought this paper worked. So, but like all my ribbons and my stickers and all those things are packed away until it's time to get them out here, probably pretty soon. Anyway, even if I wasn't thinking about Christmas in July. But what I was thinking is, some glitter. We could do, the liquid pearls. Again, it's Christmas. You can bling anyway, even when it's not Christmas, but makes it fun. Okay, so I was thinking it might be fun to use one of these. He's a little bit too big. I'm really not good at this, but I'm gonna try it. Like just eyeballing kind of that banner shape. He did okay. All right, he would be cute right there, wouldn't he? Let's put him here. And then I liked having the circle shape that I put on this little pocket. So I may do that again. I told you guys in a video not too long ago that I finally broke down and got myself a new 2-inch circle punch because mine's been acting up for so long, and I decided it was time. And I didn't tell you guys this. Look at this mammoth punch. It's only 2.5 inches only, right? And I have the Spellbinder dies and the big die machine and all that, and I do use it. What I was hoping is maybe I could punch maybe this wreath out with it. Anyway, but pulling all of that out all the time, I just don't do it. So now I have this crazy huge thing. I don't know if it was worth it. It's just so big. I'll show you compared side by side, but see how nice it cuts. Let's see. Look at me justifying. But look, this is 2-inch and this is 2.5. Why? It just seems like a lot more metal and plastic. I don't know, but it does cut nice. And so I have it on the floor here by my desk because I have not made a permanent space on my little shelf over there with my most used punches yet. We'll see. But it did cut this wreath out nice, didn't it? Because I'm going to put it right here. And if I had all my Christmas ribbons out, I'd probably do a little red ribbon right there, but I don't. I did grab some of the Sari Silk vintage ribbons that are sort of in greens and reds, thinking they may go okay. I wasn't real happy with the choice I had as I was making the prototype, but I also didn't feel like searching, so I just used that. Okay, just want to make sure I hadn't glued that closed. All right, that's cute. Now in here, let's definitely go with another word, and maybe I haven't been doing, on the other one I didn't do any paper tearing, but I'm thinking might be cute to get some of these berries. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, we could do that. Kind of wish I hadn't torn it off quite so short. We can just put both pieces there. It'll be okay. All right. So again, you saw I decided I had torn it too short. So what I'm going to do is ink both pieces. And then I'm going to glue this one down about where I want it. And I'm not making this another little pocket. I mean, you could. I'm just going to glue that there. And then we will attach it and hopefully have a nice little extra look for our pocket. There we go. Like it. And then I think I want Joy, but because Joy is only 3 letters, we're gonna use the one that's a tiny bit larger. And cut it out. So I hope you're gonna try this style of folio. Please leave me a comment and let me know. And let me know if you plan to do a Christmas in July project, or if you're gonna do something more, you know, seasonal. I would love to know. All right, I think I do want a journal, a little spot here. Not sure I want to use one that dark. This is where I can just turn and then grab. Let's see what I've got. I have some of these cards that are just a little bit more vanilla color. It's not much of a difference, and this one has a hole, but we could use that to our advantage. I have so much ink on my fingers. This is 3 inches, so I'm going to cut this to 2 3/4. I gotta remember the size of this. All right, that's a 4-inch section. And this is a very strange, I'm just now kind of going rogue here. I wanted the hole to be approximately left in the middle. There we go. That'll work. And we'll put a little ribbon here of some sort. All right. And if you are doing Christmas in July projects, so are you trying to wing it like me and only use kind of what you have to try to get to the right colors? Or are you pulling out all your Christmas craft supplies? I would like to know. See, none of the greens that I randomly grabbed really are working. That's pink. Oh, goodness. What to do, right? Well, we could use white. Let's see what we have. See, I just don't have many of my seam binding ribbons that are quite the right color. We could go neutral, or I could go back to that kind of weird green I had. Ooh, that would look good. I only have one little piece of that. We'll do it. Oh, wait, let's try. I think it'll do better if I do it this way. Yeah. Here we go. Just be a little journaling spot. I don't know what I'll do for ribbon for the other things, but here we go. So let's glue this down. All right, we don't need a lot of glue. That's kind of fun, isn't it? All right, and then of course we can put little tags and little pieces in here. Very sweet. Okie dokie. Wonder, I was kind of thinking we could do a similar idea. I think, I really love this paper. I think for right now, until I decide what I'm doing, I think I'm going to leave that. But let's go through, and I made a journaling card for the spot here just by folding this over like that. And if you want to, add another piece of paper or cardstock to give it a little, so that it's the same thickness where I have it folded over, you can. I'm just going to fold mine over, glue it down, and add a ribbon of some sort. Yep, just like that. And we can write on it and it'll be fine. I'll probably add a ribbon to it, but we'll wait just a minute. Now, to make the tag that I put in that pocket, I folded one of these in half and again glued it together so that it is sturdy and we don't have the white. But again, the white isn't really bothering me. I think it's also because this paper has white in the backing or whatever. Okay, but it wasn't trimmed very well, so I'm going to even it up. And then I will use one of my little templates here that I have and give the corners a tag shape. Quickest way to make a tag, right? I think this would be pretty with flowers, you know, and if you love animals, again, just any theme. Okay, cuteness. I'm gonna think about ribbons here in a minute too. Okay, so this is gonna go in the big pocket. And then I think I just did some that were this size, you know, like one of those. And then in here, these little squares will peek out nicely, but we can also put Mr. Gnome. There's just so many. It's one of the, I love having plenty of embellishments to choose from because you can do as much or as little as you want. Let me show you how I did the tab. Now I used the little teeny tiny tree here. The way where the tree is on this one, all we would have is some music. So I'm not going to use that for my tab this time. I think I'm going to go with one of the larger ones. I don't think it'll be too big. All I did was I took one of these squares, folded it in half, and then I used the little tiny corner rounder. But again, you could do angles, you could leave it square, it doesn't really matter. Oh gosh, I just realized I punched the wrong side, but that's okay, I'll just punch all four. See how I left it square on this edge? Going too fast. We'll see what this looks like. I don't know if it'll look like a tab, but that's okay. Let's see what he looks like. And I'm gonna put him about right there. Yeah, he's cute. All right, and especially since I decided for right now I'm not putting anything back here, this gives us a little more to look at. And then you can flip it over. Glue it down. I want to put a little something in this pocket. Oh, I think in the other one too, I haven't folded it, but I used one of the, I showed it to you guys, coin envelopes and put in that big pocket, and that was nice to have. So I think these tags, these are a touch, you know, they're going to disappear. And then these are a touch, just a touch too tall. So all I did was I just snipped it off so that it would fit in there and you could still see it. But if it's too tall and crosses over, obviously it'll get you know, mixed up in there. All right, I don't know what my ribbon situation is. I definitely don't think I have, wait, maybe I do. We'll see what this green looks like. And so I was using this and it's just, I don't know, it has too much pink in it. It's bothering me. I may have to go change out all of those ribbons. And I can. I mean, when I have ribbon to replace it with, but that's the thing, you know, if you make something and then you're looking at it and you're like, this just is not working for me, you don't have to leave it. Now this is really bright and I don't have any, I'm not seeing where I can reach. Anyway, oh, let's look in this basket maybe there's something I'm not remembering in here. All right, there's a pretty red rickrack. Pretty red. We could always go just maybe with some lace, something like that. Let's see. And I could do like a neutral sari. I have that, definitely. Just Christmas colors. And this is almost like too red. And I like this, but it is thick. Let's see, what would it look like? Or we could also just do like some twine. But you know, the neutral sari, because of the colors of the Christmas papers that we're using. Wrong scissors, it would have cut it. I just stopped cutting right at the moment. Oh gosh, Pam, because I realized I had the wrong ones in my hand. Okay, let's put a little piece here because I do have that little bit of green that I got on the pocket. Obviously, I need to, if I'm going to do more Christmas, think about my colors and maybe my ribbons and things before I start crafting, huh? All right, let's put a little piece on here as well. Put it about right here. And we'll see what it looks like, and then we'll move on. And I may not go back. I may just leave it. Sometimes it's okay to let things go. But when I'm doing my Christmas crafts, for my craft fair and all of that, I just love all the matching. I mean, it doesn't have to match, but coordinating, I guess. Coordinating ribbons and dangles and pom-poms. I have so much fun pom-pom ribbon in the Christmas colors. So, and I did it again. See, I was being too rambunctious. Okay, I've shown you guys how to fix something like this before, where you can add, you know, put cardstock back on there and punch it back out. What we're going to do is a little bit of a cheat, because I think we've been crafting for a while. I am going to make the executive decision to just make this a skinny one. It's going to be a skinny journaling card. And instead of fiddling with it, I'm going to staple it on. All right. Sometimes, I think I'm getting a little tired too. That doesn't happen to me too often, but I am filming this much later in the day than I normally do. I had some other things going on. We need something in here. I had some other things going on today, and I definitely wanted a video for you guys. And I had, you know, I had this idea ready to go. This is when I had time to record. So, oh, I love these. I hope you guys do too. And I hope that whatever you choose to make in your craft room, it brings you a lot of happiness. Okay? So, Merry Christmas in July. And until next time, have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.